Hi friends, thanks for clicking on the video. I'm excited for you to get inspired. When I make videos like this, I want to make a disclaimer and just let you know that I'm by no means perfect. I'm not claiming to know it all or to be the mother that knows all things. I absolutely am a huge work in progress. I make videos like this to just share little bits of my life and my experiences where I have seen improvement and I've seen positive results, all just to give you some inspiration and some hope for your life, because I promise you, if I could do it, anybody can do it. You can do it. How did I overcome the burden of cooking for my family? This definitely used to be a huge burden for me because I used to have a mindset where I would think, oh, cooking takes so long and no one appreciates my hard work. It's just a waste of my time. That's what I used to think. And so that would demotivate me and keep me very, very stuck. I think beneath it all is because I knew I wasn't good and I was not willing to learn. I was like, what's the point if no one cares? Kind of a thing. But of course, I know that that mentality is so wrong and it did keep me stuck. I didn't want to grow and learn in this area. And so that's where I lived for a lot of years of my married life and with a kid. So not good. So, okay, how did I overcome that old mentality with a new one? Because that is where it started. It started with changing my mindset. I had to get a new mindset and I had to learn it because it didn't come naturally. And this is the mindset that I had to learn. This is it. My top priority as a mother is the well-being of my family in these three areas: spirit, soul, and body. For spirit, it's being a peacemaker and cultivating an atmosphere for spiritual growth and godly living in my home. For the soul, it's making connections with my kids and my husband, being present, having conversation, showing affection, playing with them. And for body, it would be safety, shelter, health, and food. The one area I lacked probably the most. If any of these areas are not being met and I somehow find myself that I'm lacking in any one of them, then all other tasks, chores, projects, and events are last on my list of priorities. Or should I say they should be the last of my priorities, because I know myself and I'm a very task-oriented person. Because of that, I can get so busy doing something, and even if that something is good, like home duties or a personal project or whatever it may be, I can get so carried away and just forget to feed my kids. True story. But since I've learned this new mindset and it has become a part of me, I have found that it is all worth the effort. And since then, I've become so much more aware of what's actually important to me and for my family. And of course, now I understand, and I did understand, but now it is so ingrained in my brain that cooking at home saves me so much more money than going out, and it's a lot healthier than going out, or even having small snacks throughout the day, because I could live like that too, which is not good. But understanding the value of taking care of my family in these three areas, I found myself asking myself this question quite often when it comes to food. Do I have a meal for my family today? And when I say meal, what I mean by that is a healthy, nutritious, warm meal that will last us for at least 2 days. Because I'm not the one that's going to be cooking something new every day. When I cook a meal, that is what I keep in mind. It's healthy, nutritious, it's going to last for 2 days, and it's filling. So I try to make something that we can reheat and it's going to taste just as good. Ideas for that is like all kinds of soups, lasagna, pasta with a meat gravy, baked chicken with some grains, casseroles, just things like that. You kind of get the idea. If my answer is no, that I don't have a meal prepared for that day, then I very intentionally have to ignore and drop other activities. I have to ignore the mess, the unfinished laundry, or whatever it may be that's really trying to distract me. I naturally get distracted so easily, so I feel like I have to work very, very hard at this invisible muscle, but I have seen positive results and it very well pleases me. So if you're anything like me, I promise you there is hope for you. Okay, so I ignore everything else and I start cooking. What do I cook? What do you cook? Well, at first, for me, I just started looking up super easy and doable recipes and just practicing them. as I practice them, I'm adjusting them to my taste, to my whatever I prefer. And with each new recipe, I gained experience and little bits of confidence started to grow within me as I continued in that journey. So now we are benefiting as a family from having meals at home. And so I wanted to cover a couple of the benefits that I have seen in my house, in our household. Some of those benefits are that we have more meal times together, which creates connection and closeness as a family. There is just something about getting around the table all together and having a meal. Like the old school thing that I think is so beautiful. And I wish that every family would learn to do this and they would see such an improvement in so many other areas of their life. Since cooking at home, I have noticed that there's more order in the home. It kind of gives like a routine. I also include my kids in prepping sometimes, and of course cleaning after we eat. So that just creates a whole new order of doing things. And I love that. It creates like a structure. And I believe that that is so important for a family, especially if you have kids. Another benefit is, of course, we have healthier bodies with less cravings throughout the day. Usually our meals are protein packed. And when you have more protein in your meals, it gives you a much longer stretch of energy throughout the day. So you're not craving some like sugar high or caffeine throughout the day. Although I do drink coffee like all day because I just love coffee. But anyway, the point is it gives you longer stretches of energy and you're just healthier overall because you know what you're eating and you know what you're putting in your body as fuel to run for the day. Of course, the obvious one is we're saving money because going out is so freaking expensive and insane. So yes, we are saving a lot more money. And I would even go as far as to say I save way more time when I cook at home, even though it feels like a lot of time is put into cooking, but this is how I see it now. I save time on cooking because for a bigger meal, it's one big chunk of time that I'm using to cook, but that'll feed us for 2 days instead of me constantly making small meals and snacking and never leaving the kitchen. That's exhausting and tiring, and it's gonna take a lot more time versus one big chunk of time that you cook something big and you know it's gonna provide you food for the next, for the next 2 days. Okay, and lastly, my husband loves it. Ding dong. I think back in the day, I was just so immature. I never put the 2 and 2 together. My husband in particular, I know most men just love food, but my husband loves food. And when he was being fed by somebody else, somewhere else, it's like he was getting his love language filled by another person. And that is like so messed up. Like I realized this later down the road and I'm glad I did. I wish I had known this sooner. And I feel like a lot of wives that kind of dismiss cooking are not realizing what they're actually doing to their relationship between their husband and themselves. It's a huge thing. And so this has strengthened our relationship because I'm doing the thing that my husband loves so much. And it makes him very happy. And in turn makes me very happy. Going off onto the marriage topic, but it's kind of all included. It's for the family, right? The point of marriage is we're serving one another. And when you serve, there's so much satisfaction in that. I think the hardest part was just like getting to this new mindset. That's it. The actual work is not that hard. What's more hard was just starting to think differently. But I promise you, once you get started, the actual work is not that difficult. And when I realized that's one of my toppest priorities as a wife and as a mother, then it's like, it's a no-brainer. Where before it felt like such a weight, right now it's a no-brainer. I'm like, of course I need to feed my family. My kids are hungry. They need to be fed. Otherwise they're going to eat candy all day and bread with butter, which is not healthy for them. Like I want them to be healthy and not be sick. So that's like the very least I could do is go feed your kids. And then after that, if I have time for other fun things or other projects in my life, then that's like a bonus. And then when I get all of that done, it is the most rewarding feeling ever. Hopefully that makes sense. I hope that you can adopt this new mindset for yourself as a mom and as a wife, because the role that you have, it is so beautiful to take care of your family. Anyway, so that's what I experienced. I know that you got this. You can do this. I believe in you. That's about it. If you made it this far into the video, thank you so much. Leave some love by liking and subscribing. I hope you have a blessed day. And if you liked this style of a video, let me know in the comments if I should continue with this. Okay, take care and bye-bye.